Welcome back, our trusted viewer. We are here to continue our series on risk management awareness. Karibu sana, David.
Thank you so very much, Brenda. Again, it's good that we are discussing the organization culture and also organization culture towards risk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, David, I have a few questions. What is risk-aware culture?
Thank you so very much, Brenda. And we are talking about risk-aware culture. And we have said culture, according to the Institute of Risk Management, is values, beliefs, knowledge and understanding shared by a group of people for a common purpose.
Yes.
If that is then the culture, we want to ask ourselves then, what is a risk culture? And risk culture is values, beliefs, knowledge and understanding shared by a group of people about the risk culture.
Okay.
And then now you're asking, what is now risk-aware culture? Risk-aware culture simply is where everyone within an organization understands, embraces, and participates in managing the risks that can affect the organization. So you see, everybody within an organization is able to understand that there could be risks that could affect what they are doing. Whether they are in production, they might be aware of safety risks.
Yes.
Whether they're in marketing, they could be aware of the credit risk that could be out there, or losing a customer, the risk of losing a customer. If it's finance, they could be aware that fraud could occur within that organization. So that whole understanding of an organization prone to being to be affected by any of the risks, now that becomes a risk-aware culture.
Okay.
Now, risk-aware culture is not something that can just be done and it is out there. Just as we have strategies in marketing, we have strategies in other areas, in production, even a risk-aware culture, we can be able to create a way in which we can be able to move where we are to where we want to be. So the first one is understanding what is our current risk aware culture that we have.
Yes.
And you find that a writer called Paul Hopkins, in his book Fundamentals of Risk Management, he tells us about awareness of risk sophistication, in that some organization can be aware of risk, but they're actually not even doing anything. That is, they just want they have reformed. At least they know there is risk that can affect them.
Okay.
But from there, they can also conform. Now they can start saying, hey, and we can be able to manage these risks so that they don't affect us.
Okay.
And after they have reformed, they can actually even perform. They can start realizing that we have benefits that can arise out of risk management.
Okay.
Like, for example, we can be able to outdo our competitors because of doing risk management.
Okay.
Now, that is why it is very important to understand our current risk-aware culture.
Okay.
We need to do some interviews. We need to understand our people in how they perceive risks. We need to take them to some workshops and understand what is the current status.
Okay.
After that, then we can go to what is our target risk culture.
Okay.
Where do we want to go? Then now we can formulate and say that the risk culture that we want to have is this one, whereby everyone is able to know that even if I receive a risk that does not belong to my department, I don't sit on it. I'll need to escalate it to the relevant people.
Yes.
If it is a risk owner, I mean, and they have delegated that to a risk actioner. Okay. So the risk actioner is able to know that I will need to communicate to the owner of the risk. You know, when they become aware of all those things, then that, or rather, we have tried to formulate in a way that we can reach there. That will be our target risk-aware culture.
Okay.
And also, you know, it is not enough just to say we need to be there. We need to implement it.
Okay.
So, and how can we implement a risk-aware culture? It's now bringing in people, training them, telling them how beneficial is it to practice risk management, how it, even if it is not within my department and the risk has happened into another department, it can still affect me.
Yes.
So we look at the organization as a wholesome so that we implement that culture of risk awareness that is understood, common language. We have a risk common language, risk awareness common language that is understood by everybody within that organization. Then that now is what we'll call a risk aware culture.
Oh, thank you so much, David. That's it for now. For more of this content, like, subscribe, and comment. See you soon.